Hi Mary, I'm going to make 3 videos for you, and this is the first video. I'm going to do one on graphing, where the topic is graphing in the 3 different forms of linear that we've talked about now. And the second one will be on solutions, and the third one will be on systems with graphing and solving with substitution. In this first video, I want to focus not just on the graphing, but also making sure that if you read a story problem, you can figure out whether to write it in standard form or slope-intercept form, and how to write the equation, and then how to graph it. So we'll make sure that you have to do all 3, so you're going to need to listen, because I'm not writing down these story problems, so don't forget that you can pause the video at any time you want to, and you can also, of course, rewind the video. So this first problem says that the base pay of a water delivery person is $210 per week. He also earns 20% commission on any sale he makes. What equation relates his total earnings T to his sales S? And then I want you to graph the equation. I'm going to read it one more time. His base pay is $210 per week, and then he earns 20% commission on any sale he makes. The equation should relate his total earnings T to sales S, and then I want you to graph the equation. Pause the video now and write down the equation. Okay, since they're telling you in this problem that they want you to use the variables T and S, where S is equal to the number of sales that he makes, and T is equal to his total earnings, his total pay, then we know the equation is going to be T equals, this seems to be a slope-intercept problem where T is the same as Y, so Y equals or T equals, and then since he earns $210 no matter what, that's his base pay, plus his sales plus a 20% commission. Well, a 20% commission would be 0.2 times his sales. So they take 20% in decimal form is 0.2. You multiply that times his sales, and that's how much more he makes in addition to the 210. Okay, so now you're going to pause the video again, and you're going to graph it on a piece of graph paper, so you're going to need graph paper today. Okay, so this is the graph. The first thing I want you to think about is that in this case the slope is 0.2, 20% written in decimal form, and 20% means 20 over 100 or 2 over 10. There are a lot of equivalent fractions I can write for 0.2. So I could also go 200 over 1,000, etc. The reason this is important is because it's going to make it easier for me to figure out how to number the y and the x-axis in order to graph the slope and the y-intercept. The y-intercept was 210. I chose to number by 20s here. Could have done 10s, but that's a lot of numbering, and I don't want to give myself too much work. If I go too big, then it's going to be hard to put the number 210, which is my y-intercept, on the y-axis accurately. So now I have to go up 20 and over 100, and so here's 10, here's 20, that's up 20, and though I'm counting by 50s on the x-axis, so this is 50, 100, and then I did it one more time because I like to have more than one point there, up 20 over 100 again. And so this is the graph of the equation y equals 0.2s plus 210, and it's totally okay to write it the way I did up here because it flows from the problem, or if you want to see the slope first and then the y-intercept, because that's the way we're used to seeing it, mx plus b, that's also fine too. Okay, next problem. A music store is offering a coupon promotion on its CDs. The regular price for CDs is $14 each. With the coupon, customers are given $4 off the total purchase. What equation relates the total cost of a purchase to the number of CDs that are bought? I'm going to read it again. A music store is offering a coupon promotion on its CDs. The regular price for each CD is $14. With the coupon, customers are given $4 off their total purchase. And you're looking for the equation that relates the total purchase price to the number of CDs purchased. Turn the video off and write your equation. Okay, the equation in this situation is T, total purchase price, is equal to $14 times C minus 4. This is total purchase price, which I'll call TPP. The 14 is the regular cost per, whoops, and then the C is the number of CDs, and then the minus 4 accounts for the coupon that's telling you you're taking 4 off. The tricky part here is you're taking $4 off your total purchase price. You're not taking $4 off each of the CDs. So you still have to pay $14 per CD, and then you get $4 off the total. Okay, now your next part is to graph this. So again, pause the video and then go ahead and graph and then check to see what I did. Okay, so here your y-intercept was -4 and your slope was 14, so you have to go up 14 and over 1, which means that for every 1 CD you pay $14, and that's it. Okay, next one. In this next problem, Larry is trying to get a total distance of 15 miles, and he's doing this by a combination of running and walking. Larry walks at an average rate of 3 miles per hour, and he runs at an average rate of 8 miles per hour. So you're going to write an equation to relate the times he could spend running and walking if he travels a distance of 15 miles. He walks at an average rate of 3 miles an hour, and he runs at an average rate of 8 miles per hour. And you're writing the equation to relate the times he could spend running and walking if he travels a distance of 15 miles. Shut the video off and try to write the equation. Okay, so I'm using x to be the number of miles he'll walk, and I'm using y to be the number of miles he'll run. And so the equation is going to be 3x plus 8y equals 15. So this one is in standard form, and you'll notice that in standard form equations you often have these two different things being compared. In this case, walking miles versus running miles. In some cases it could be apples and oranges, or it's usually two different things like that, a van and a truck. Okay, so now you're going to graph this, so turn the video off, Go ahead and graph it, and then check your graph by mind. Okay, so I had to find the x and y intercepts, and I forgot to take a picture of showing you how I did that. But I used the substituting in 0 because I know that finding the x and y intercepts means that for the y-intercept x is 0 and for the x-intercept y is 0, so that's why I can substitute in zeros. And so for my y-intercept I got 1 7/8, and for my x-intercept I got 5. I just wanted to remind you too about you can do for the x-intercept c divided by a, and so your c was 15 and your a was 3, and 15 divided by 3 is 5. And for this you can do c divided by b as a shortcut, and 15 divided by 8 is 1 7/8. So here's approximately 1 7/8, and here's 5. And notice that I only am showing quadrant 1 of the coordinate plane because you can't have negative running or walking miles. A tire dealer sells Supreme tires for $48 and Prestige tires for $56 each. During 1 week, the sales for both tires totaled $2,008. You're going to do two things. You're going to write an equation for the situation, and then you're going to graph it. I'm going to go ahead and pause for just a minute, and then I'll show you both the equation and the answer. The interesting thing about this problem is what you get for your x and y intercepts, but here we go. So I did x being representative of the number of Prestige tires and y being the Supreme tires, and it's totally okay if you switch these around. Didn't do it. You don't have to do it the same way. And so I said 56 times the number of Prestige plus 48 times the number of Supremes is equal to $2,008. And then when I solved for my x and y intercepts by doing 2008 divided by 56, I got 35 and 6/7. I had to do a bunch of reducing. And when I did 2008 divided by 48 to get the other intercept, I got 41 and 5/6. So now when you graph that, here's my x-intercept and here's my y-intercept. Here's the thing I think that's interesting. Your x and y intercepts, which you have to use to graph when you're in standard form, aren't even solutions to the equation. The reason they're not solutions is because this isn't a naked problem. It's a problem in context. And there's no way that you could have 35 and 6/7 of a tire and then 0 of the other tires, and over here there's no way that you could have 0 of the Prestige tires and then 41 and 5/6 of the Supreme tires, so those aren't even solutions to the equations. In this case I'd probably graph it on Desmos and then drag my line along, my finger along there to find whole number answers. Okay, last problem is a point slope problem. Okay, so you're going to graph these two equations that are in point slope form. Okay, for the first one, your point was, I wrote the equation wrong, was 3, 2, I wrote it wrong here, so over 3 and up 2, and then the slope was 1, there was nothing in front of the parentheses over here, so that means it's a 1, so I have to go up 1 and over 1, that means I can also go down 1 and to the left 1. On this last one here, your point was 3, 2 again, so over 3 and up 2, and then it's telling me to go down 3 and to the right 2, down 1, 2, 3, to the right 2, which means I can also go up 3 and to the left 2. Okay, and you're done. That was the graphing review along with adding story problems.